So it took me a while. However, after I think 2 years of debating, I finally pulled the trigger on a road glide fairing for a 2002 VL1500 LC. I've noticed that every bike I've bought seems to be what I call a unicorn, where there are very few aftermarket parts for it, and most of the aftermarket modifications require actual modification. After looking through the depths of the internet and trying to figure out the best way to really make my bike and feel like it's something that I put together and not just, some bolt-on here and there, I decided that the Shark Nose frame-mounted fairing would be the best route. Initially, I thought the Shark Nose fairing looked like, not crap, but just, it was weird. Seems like there's been a few people who felt that, it's frame-mounted fairing, doesn't turn with the bars, doesn't really always match up with the lines of the bike, and I've definitely seen that. I mean, you got the stock road glide with the smaller front wheel and the fairings just awkwardly high for the bike. And if you look at photos, maybe you'll see what I'm talking about, as opposed to like the specials, which I don't really think there's a wheel size difference, but something just looks smoother. Maybe they put a fairing lowering kit on it after they bought the bike. I'm not sure. But what you're looking at here is a Mutazu 2014 Plus road glide front fairing. So we have the spot for the LCD touchscreen. They did the lines of the fairing pretty well. They also have the airflow vent. Like I stated in a previous video, for whatever reason this button is a pain for on and much easier off. There we go. Probably be better when it's actually on the bike and it's stable and I'm not trying to hold it with one hand and press it with another. Balance it up against stuff. But as you saw with the on, takes a little effort, off, much easier. I know it's not much of a test, but I blew through it a couple times trying to see if I'd get much of a difference, and there is a huge difference. You can blow air straight through there with it shut, and you feel nothing. Now, when you're going 80 miles an hour, it might be a different story, but other than that, you should be good. And when you open it, it is a night and day from no airflow to full on blast airflow, at least in whatever area the vent will cover. Now, I looked for a while, eBay, Amazon, generally Google searches, and prices varied from, I think, as low as $190 for molded white, unpainted, unfinished, no gel coat fairing that did not include the gap filler for the inner and outer where the windshield will mount. Excuse me, I'm not exactly sure what that's called. And the older models that didn't require that filler were still in the same price range. The drawbacks were, upon reading reviews before I purchased this, people were saying they were coming in scratched, they were coming in cracked, there were problems here and there were blemishes they just weren't a fan of. So I figure, okay, you get what you pay for, so let me find something that's not so budget. The next step was in the $350 range, and those were still getting bad reviews. So I pulled the trigger on a Mutazu 2014 Plus Road Glide Shark Nose frame-mounted fairing. Now, My only real quarrel with this at the moment is it did not come with any of the assembly hardware. I understand the mounting hardware, like the brackets and all that other fun shit, is expensive. They're not just going to give it to you for free. But I would really like to see it come with at least the bolts required to fit the inner, the outer, and the filler together. So I could have gotten a better look and appreciation for what I just dropped $540 on. Yep, so the cost of this fairing is $539 or $529. Free shipping, not eligible for Prime, because yes, I did buy this off Amazon. So far, I haven't had any issues with it beyond that. There are a couple marks here and there, but they're few and far between. Let's see if I can get one in the image. I know it's right there. I have no idea what that is. I have wiped these down twice now, and I can't get that to go away or lessen. There's a few little abrasions here and there. And again, tried to wipe those down, all using microfiber. And they're not going away. But it's one of those things where when it's on the bike, unless you really get up in there and you are examining it with gloves and a magnifying glass and from every angle conceivable, it's really not going to make any difference. So the outside is that vivid black gel coat. The inside is a slightly less finished bit. I'm gonna guess that the whole thing was just gel coated, and then they polished up the fronts or the outside views, and they left the insides just as they sit. So as you can see from the shine back here, and then that flat, nothing right there. So, this will be the first update video in my mission to upgrade my Suzuki Intruder to a Intruder Glide. The following videos will come most likely at a much later date, where I still need to find the assembly hardware, I still need to get all the brackets, and I have to modify either the frame of my motorcycle or the frame mounting portion of the bracket itself. I have not decided which I'm going to do. There's also the possibility of using some sort of clamp system, but if I can't make that clean and I can't make it seem like anything more than, you know, a ghetto backyard garage job, then I don't want to do it. Stay tuned, y'all. Suzuki Intruder Glide.